Chapter. Today we're going to talk about getting a bunch of tools from the Home Depot for relatively good pricing, so stay tuned. Alright, you guys, so today we're going to be talking about getting a bunch of tools from the depot. These are not going to be like the awesomest best deals where you need to go out and get them right now, but these are going to be deals more like if you're in the market or if you were eyeing it, now would be probably a good time to go get it. But if you're just thinking about it or on the fence about it, you may want to go get it, but I mean, it's not literally going to make you jump out of your seat and go pick it up right now. So let's go talk about some of the stuff. So we have to talk about, when we're talking about depot Ryobi stuff. So every year, they have this thing, what they call the Ryobi days. Pretty much you pick up the starter kit, which is 2 4-amp-hour batteries and a charger, and you get a free tool for roughly around $100. So this is generally pretty good, especially if you're in if you're in the Ryobi lineup. It's actually a pretty good deal because you get the batteries and the tool for about $100. But even some of the professional grade contractors that I know or I've seen are still in some kind of Ryobi lineup. Sure, they have their DeWalt's, Milwaukee's, Makitas, whatever, but it's almost impossible to stay away from something that's Ryobi because either one, they're so value-oriented price that you just have to get it, or two, they're the only ones who make something like that, right? Like take for instance this cordless hot glue gun, right? One thing I see, or one of the industry people I see carrying this a lot, especially even the ones that I worked with recently, is the granite countertop guys or even the cabinet guys. So if you're in the granite countertop guys, I know a lot of the newer or people that are up to date on their tech have moved on to like laser distance templating or 3D templating, but a lot of the ones I still see are still doing old school and doing templating using like little strips of wood or little pieces of plastic or whatnot. But anyways, templating, you see a lot of people using hot glue guns, and this right now I think Ryobi is the only one who may make, or at least a major tool manufacturer is the only one who's making a hot glue gun like this. So that's actually very convenient if it's cordless, or even this caulk gun. And sure, the M18 one and DeWalt ones are I think like 3 times more expensive, but one of the things that annoys me on the M18 one is a little part that pulls back a little bit to stop it from dripping. So, which is a nice feature, but when you go to use it again, you really have to wait for that part that pulled back to push back in and the caulk to start coming out, which sometimes is almost unpredictable a little bit, and it kind of messes up, especially if you're trying to get one smooth thing all the way across. So I don't know, it's all user opinion based or whatnot. But anyways, so some of the stuff you can't stay with. If you're in a Ryobi lineup, make sure you go check the stuff out. Don't worry, this video is not sponsored by Depot or anyone like that. But just go check it out. Some of these tools may be good, some of the tools maybe not. I know one year they had a mistake where they included, I think it was the 10 or 12-inch sliding miter saw they had in this thing. I know some people were able to pick it up, but it looks like they completely left it off on this one this year. So that was a mistake, so don't count on trying to pick that up again. But anyways, $99 for 2 4-wheels, charger, and a tool. You can't really go wrong there. So let's go and move on to some stuff that a lot of people on the channel seem to care about, the Team Red stuff. So in case you're relatively new, this is the first generation, or at least the only one, the first time they released a 12-inch sliding dual bevel compound miter saw from Milwaukee, and this is the M18 version. This recently came to market. And this tool by itself is something I think I want to say like ridiculous, like $700 by itself, just the tool only, which is kind of expensive because I would say you might as well just pay like an extra $200 and just get the best tool Capex or something. But anyways, we're talking about Team Red here, so Milwaukee is generally premium price. So this tool by itself is normally $700. Right now you can pick up the tool and an 8-amp-hour high output battery for $600. So that's roughly around $100 off just the tool only price. This thing is about to end in about 15 hours, so if you're going to go pick it up, make sure you go pick it up now. But if you add each of those items independently, it ends up being roughly around like $900, which of course I don't really know too many people that pay retail pricing for stuff, so take it with a grain of salt. But right now you can pick up this 12-inch miter saw and the M18 XC high output battery for $600, which seems to be a really good deal for considering what the retail price or normal price on this stuff seems to be. For me, I would say that's too pricey, even though I do like some of the Milwaukee stuff they make. So I would more go with this Makita 36-volt kit. So this is a 36-volt. I posted this on community deals along with community posts along with some of the circular saw deals they had. If you guys missed out, maybe I'll include that towards the end of the video, since some of the things people told me about, I took them to the community post. I pointed in the community post and they were like, I can't seem to figure out how to get the deal, so we'll talk about that later. But This, you can pick up the 36 volt Makita 10-inch sliding dual bevel compound miter saw for roughly around $529. There's a little hack. You can get this for roughly around 400 or just under 400, which is, a lot of people know, if you add this to the cart and you add this for a free dual 5 amp hour pack, you can end up returning one of the other and keep the other one for a prorated price. I know a lot of this is an old trick that's been around for ages. I'm not encouraging you to do that, but all the people I talked to, even the store manager, said it's okay for you to do that because the receipt comes out and they say it's okay. But I'm not sure how some people feel about that. But anyways, the point is that they did away with a lot of those on the ones they don't want you to return. Like, for instance, you can't really buy this and then go and return this and get the prorated price on this. But on the ones they will allow you to do for some reason, I'm not sure how they determine which ones they allow you to do and which ones they don't. On this one you can, and you can keep this kit by itself for roughly around 400 bucks. Or you can just keep all 4 batteries and this entire kit for $529, which is actually a really great deal for this by itself. Yes, I know this is the 10-inch version and then this is the 12-inch version. If you're doing this crown molding, you probably really want the 12-inch. But everything else, I think most people are going to be okay with the 10-inch. I have this one. I've had it since, I don't know, I want to say right when it came out. And it's a beast. This is just a great, so it's got dual dust collection too. It's got a port dust collection. Here we'll go, I don't know if we can zoom in. It's got a dust collection port here that zooms in here, and it's got dust collection port here. And there's a Y splitter that splits the vacuum hose on both sides. So it actually pulls suction from both. I don't know if there's a picture in here that shows it, but the dust collection on here definitely works. I want to say a little bit better than some of the other ones that I've seen, but it's not perfect. But this is a beast. I have it attached to a DeWalt miter saw stand, and it's just good. But anyways, it requires 2 18-volt batteries, and you could run very well. And plus, the rails on this one are mounted, so the saw slides forward instead of on this one where the saw also slides forward, but also with the rail. So you can't put this flush with the wall, and it takes up just a little bit more space. And I've used a 10-inch version of this, and it seems like there's a lot of wiggle room. And if you're trying to get really tight miters like a finish carpenter, that may annoy you depending on how proud you are or how much pride you take in the quality of your work. But this one, I would say overall is just a beast. It's very powerful. It's very strong, very clean cutting. I mean, a lot of that depends on the blade, but there's a little flex. A lot less flex than most of the miter saws that I've seen. Dual port charger, this thing charges, I want to say, in roughly 45 minutes to an hour, but this thing is a beast, and I would highly recommend this saw to almost anyone who's in the market for a miter saw. But it is really heavy, so you probably want to get it mounted, or if you're okay with a little heavier miter saw that gives it more stability, it's fine. The base on this one is really big, which is what I really like. Some of the bases on these, see how small that is compared to the 12-inch miter saw? That's really small. The base on this one is actually really big, so it makes it more stable. It makes it easier to cut crown molding, but it's a little bit harder to do nested crown, mainly because it's a 10-inch blade. Anyways, take that with a grain of salt, but if you're going to pick up a miter saw, I would definitely point you guys to this one if you're okay with the 10-inch one. This one has a laser, the other one has a shadow line, but anyways, keep that in mind. We'll stop talking about this. So we talked about that one already. We talked about that kind of. Another thing kind of going on right now is you can pick up this, let me just refresh this. You can pretty much pick up a 12 amp hour battery and a 6 amp hour battery for roughly around $170 off. So pretty much think of it as you're buying a 12-0 and you're getting a free 6-0. And you can get it for roughly around $230, which I know is kind of expensive for batteries, but if you think about how much this 12-volt battery costs by itself, it seems to be a pretty good deal. So if you're looking for a if you're in the market for M18 batteries, go and pick this up. Like I said, it's roughly around $230 for a 12-0, 6-0, and a rapid charger. So it seems to be a pretty good deal. This one's probably also going to end soon. We're not going to cover every single deal on here, but just the ones I think that people would probably be interested in, or at least the ones that are better, well, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, which I think are better deals. Milwaukee also has this 8 amp hour, 6 amp hour starter kit kind of thing going on, almost similar with the Ryobi days type deal. But you get the 8 amp hour, 6 amp hour, and you get a charger for roughly $300, right? And you get the free tool. This fuel brushless Sawzall is a pretty good deal, mainly considering how expensive it is normally by itself. 18 fuel grinder is an okay, pretty good deal. I don't know if I would really get this since this is not the fuel brushless version. This is a fuel brushless 3/8 inch compact wrench, but I know most people prefer like a half-inch one. So this one is not as good, I would say, in terms of deal-wise, but in case you're in the market for some of this stuff, I would go check this out. So it seems to be a pretty decent deal there. So the community post I posted on the YouTube the other day, I don't know if we can go find it, which was, let's go to the YouTube here. So if we go to the YouTube here, we'll go to the channel, and on the community post, the post I posted here, oh, if you guys didn't check this out, the Simpson anchoring solution seems to be a pretty good deal. A lot of the anchoring solutions were on clearance. Masonry anchors are on clearance, and some as low as like $1.80. So if you're doing masonry work or work with that kind of stuff, make sure you go check this out. But there was a deal here I posted the other day that I really had to explain to a few people that I pointed them to, which was this. I posted this about a month ago. So it looks like, I'm not sure when this thing expires, but pretty much you can pick up the rear handle 36 volt saw or top handle 36 volt saw kit for $250, right? And then you get an two extra batteries. I know a lot of people who returned some of the batteries and just kept this, but I mean, if you're in the Makita lineup or if you're doing a lot of work, I would try to keep the batteries because I mean, it's not that the battery life is bad, but it's always good to have extra batteries. I mean, you could pretty much work all day with this kit if you're like a framing carpenter, contractor, or whatnot. Anyways, the point is that this saw right here, I think the kit is usually somewhere around 300-ish, 350, 400, closer to this one here is closer to 350. But right now it's about $100 off, and you get another roughly around $180 value. They say $220, but no one does retail pricing around here. So for $250. So this is actually a really good deal. In order to pick this up, you really have to go to the depot and you have to add both of these to cart. Here, I'll show you in a second. But if you go here and you get the, let's type in Makita 36 volts circular saw. So if I wanted the rear handle circular saw, I would go here. We'll just add this one here real quick. If we add this one to the cart, see 250, it's roughly around 350. You could for the kit. Well, it's not available, but assuming it was available near you, you would add it to the cart. Let me see if there's a store around here that's available. So there's one here. We'll add this one to the cart here. Hold on, what's going on here? Alright, so you want to go in here and add it anywhere. If you can have it shipped to you, then that's fine too. But you can also add this to your cart, and it ends up being roughly around $250. Come on. This may take a while. Alright, so if I go to the cart now, there should be 4 items there. And if I go check out the 4 items, so you could remove, I mean, just for the sake of this, remove that. And then we will also remove this. And see, you get the kit and an extra set of batteries for roughly around, see, total price $250. Like I said, I know a lot of people who return just the batteries and then kept the saw for $150-ish with taxes and stuff. So that is probably the best, hottest deal on a circular saw kit that you could pick up anywhere, probably within that I've seen in the last, I want to say at least 2 or 3 years, because you get the 36 volt rear hander circular saw kit, which includes 2 5 amp hour batteries and a dual port rapid charge for $150. I don't think there's no circular rear handle circular saw, actually even just circular saw for $150 that you can pick up that's going to be better or more powerful than this. So even if you're not in the Makita lineup, this is definitely going to be the thing to get, and it will even get you started into the Makita lineup. So if you can get started in the Makita lineup, I'll definitely keep the batteries, because for $250 you're getting a ridiculous deal here I also know some people who bought it and just returned the saw because they already have it and just kept the batteries, because 2 5 amp hour batteries for $100 that's just an insane deal by itself too. So if you really want this and you don't have it near you, you can just keep checking it every now and then. You can get it shipped to your house. But anyways, this is a killer deal. So if you're in the market or you want to get into the Makita lineup, I would make sure you pick that up. You could do exactly the same thing with this top handle one. So the thing about the rear handle one is the rear handle doesn't have a dust collection port, and it shoots dust. Here, let's go look at it real quick. It shoots dust straight down. So if you're cutting things like 2x4s, 2x6, or 2x8s, I think it's okay, mainly because it just shoots down and it kind of gets out of the way. But if you're doing a rip cut, that sawdust just piles up here until you get to the end, and it gets a little bit annoying. So I wish they did something to fix that. I think on Australian versions, or I don't know if it's the European version, there's a dust port here, but on the US version, it does not have that. But on this version, the top handle one, it actually comes with a dust port. There's a little plastic piece that's not showing this picture, but it comes with, you screws on here, and it becomes a dust collector. So this is actually, if you're into the Sidewinder type dude, if you like blade right, or some people call it blade wrong, then this might be the one to get. But I think for most people who do a lot of framing, we usually use the worm drive style saws, even if it's not worm drive, and go with the rear handle one. So anyways, like I said, there's a lot more deals. There's some DeWalt deals and stuff like that, but none of them are really, really hot that I would say. Probably need to do some coverage on it. But like I said, circular saw wise, those two are definitely going to be the one to get, especially for 250 and 4 batteries. Okay, you could run all day, literally. These 2 batteries charge in less than 45 minutes on this charger, so, or somewhere around 45 minutes. So if you're going to pick it up, or if you're in a market for circular saw, don't pick up the Ryobi one. Don't pick up the non-fuel version of the Milwaukee one. Actually, don't even pick up the fuel version super circular saw either, because this one is significantly better. The rear handle one I just picked up, so I can't really say too much about that one on the Milwaukee one, but I can definitely tell you this saw I've had since it came out, and I've used it on a regular basis, my go-to saw, and it is a beast. I got a really big project coming up for you guys. We'll do coverage on a lot of these saws, so we'll throw that out there soon. But make sure you check this out. Go pick it up right now, even if you're not in the lineup. Now's a good time. So I hope this video has helped you guys out, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, you guys, so I'm going to cover something quick on this deal. Just circling back around this one real quick. This deal, you can kind of get and pick up these things tool with purchase, but it doesn't prorate the tool. But in certain areas, like for instance, my buddy of mine who recently moved out to the New Mexico area, he told me that you were able to pick this up and then it prorates it. Like for instance, if I add this, and if I really wanted, let's, I don't know, the brushless grinder or the super Sawzall, and you add it to cart, it'll prorate the tool whole thing to come out to be $2.99. So if you add those to cart, hold on, I added to cart somewhere around here. If you add it to cart, see, you can do, it prorates it and it comes out like this. So the total ends up being $2.99. And if you do get it, or did get it, or whatnot, there is, you could end up returning one or the other one, right? And then keep the other one. So like I said, I don't know if I mentioned on this video, I did talk to like the 3 of the store managers in my general area and vicinity, and they said that the pro-ready return is okay. They designed it to work like that. So I know some people have some, I don't know if they have moral issues or whatnot with it, but according to the store managers, they said that it's designed to work like that. So I don't know, take it for what you will. There is another hack. I have to tell you guys about that later, but I can't give you guys all the secrets. But there's another hack to get a little bit better deal without doing as much work on some of the stuff, and I'll give that to you guys sometime in the near future. But for now, I'll give you something like this. So you can get it with the fuel Sawzall. I'm pretty sure you could do the same thing with the grinder, but I would definitely go with the flexible grinder over this. I've tried both. The flexible grinder is just in a completely different world in terms of power. So this Sawzall I think is okay. It's a pretty good Sawzall. I would definitely go with the Makita 36 volt Sawzall. I think it has a little bit longer stroke, like a 1/4 inch or 8 difference longer stroke, which actually makes a big difference. But if you're an M18 lineup and you're not in a Makita lineup, that doesn't make sense. Just get this. Just get whatever lineup you're in, and it's fine. I would not get this circular saw. I think I mentioned that earlier too, and I probably wouldn't get this either. This, I have this light, works pretty well. Especially if you're in like, I was in an area where we did an engagement photo shoot, and it was towards sunset, and a couple of people that I know brought like 2 or 3 of these out, and it actually helped a lot. So Just saying, take it for what you will. But like I said, you could actually get a prorated return on some of the stuff and get a really good deal. So for this, you get an 8 amp hour and a 6 amp hour for $179. That's a pretty good deal. The best I've ever gotten on something like this was a 6.0 and a 12 volt for $150, but that was a long time ago when Home Depot was clearing that out. So this is actually a really good deal for this. So if you're in the market for something like this, make sure you pick this up. If it doesn't work in your zip code, just Google El Paso zip code, I think. A guy I know lives right in between El Paso and what's the other state? Hold on, let me look at it. Or other city. But he lives right here, and he goes to the depot in El Paso a lot. So just use zip code 79922 or something like that, and it works. Like I said, in my area zip code it didn't work, but if you change it to 79922, it works fine. So hope this video helps you guys. I want to see you guys next time.